Brad, Bill Doyle, Mr. Telegram, I'll say it anyways. Greg Monroe didn't play a lot in game one. I'm just wondering why and how important will he be going forward?
Well, he's a really important part of our team. We need his scoring and his passing off the bench. The other day they went small quite a bit and really tried to spread us out on the drive, and that was just a decision based on the desire for us to be a little bit smaller and faster. But you know, he's a really important part of our team and part of our rotation, and inevitably we'll get multiple opportunities throughout this series to really impact it.
Hi, Brad. I know you touched on this a little bit yesterday, but managing minutes during the regular season, how much has that set you up for the postseason just to let guys go long?
You know, I think we have a plan of attack throughout the regular season, and based on each individual. Obviously, we chose some times to rest guys, but not that many. But more so manage it throughout the games. We felt like we were a deep team. We also had young guys that we thought would really benefit from playing, and so I think it was a perfect combination of, you know, that allowed us to play Kyrie a lot less, allowed us to play Al a lot less, get those young guys minutes and still not overdo it with anybody, because we need them. We're in a unique situation because of the injuries that we are going to play a little bit more minutes than probably even usual.
Brad, Jacob, Toby, CLNS Media. I asked you about Shane Larkin a couple days ago, changing the pace of the game. What were your impressions of him in game one? He played the 6 most minutes out of anyone. Yeah,
great first quarter. Obviously really good third and fourth. Obviously had that stint in the second where he struggled a little bit, but to his credit, one of his great strengths is his ability to bounce back and his ability to stay in the game, stay in the moment. Offensively, I thought, you know, especially in the second half, he was very good, and then defensively, I thought he was fantastic the whole game. He can really get into the ball. He directs the ball. He's very aggressive. He's small, but he's a hard guy to post. He's tough. Like, he just has all the qualities of a good defender.
Brett, Aaron Baines started the game. It was sort of rarely cited after the first quarter, and you've seen Giannis and Middleton both sort of went at him and got buckets of the hoop in the first quarter. First of all, is he starting still tonight, and how do you see his role going forward?
Same thing with that we just talked about with Greg. I mean, at the end of the day, with them going small with Giannis at the 5, we're fortunate to have a guy like Al who can slide to the 5. And so oftentimes that would be the case when the other team goes small. Obviously, there are times where you can leave a big in depending on what matchups you have and what you like. But Baines is a guy that's going to start for us. We'll continue to rely heavily on him, whether that is for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. And he is truly a guy that does not care. He just wants to win. And that's one of the things that I've always really appreciated about him. And we've got a locker room full of those guys, and I think his leadership is a big reason why.
Coach, you mentioned the leadership. Jason Tatum said today just how much Kyrie Irving is helping him right now through the playoffs and giving him advice. I know it's only one game from his role with this entire Celtics team so far.
Kyrie's?
Yes.
I think it's more individually based. I mean, Kyrie has got obviously all of his rehab going on and everything else. His schedule's a little bit different than our schedule from the standpoint of when he comes into the gym and when our team's in there. And when our trainers go and see him at his house right now, because he's not traveling a whole lot. So that's more him reaching out individually, and he's been great about that all year.
Brad, Owen Pence, Boston Globe. You mentioned after game one you didn't think the Middleton post-ups on the guards hurt you guys that much. Is it a case where you guys are going to try to run him off the three-point line, or is it more just kind of picking your poison?
Well, we're going to try to run everybody off three-point line anyways. So, you know, obviously he's not going to post up at the three-point line. He's going to post up at 15, 16 feet and then either back in small guys or just shoot over him, and he's one of the best at it. Doesn't mean we won't have to change that at some point. You know, we'll see how the game's going, see if it's something that we think we'll, you know, we'll have to adjust to.
Right, Butch Stearns. You always talk about how important Al Horford is as a facilitator. In this series in particular, why is he so key?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some of the facilitating, obviously, that will be available, but maybe even more so out of the post and the top of the key, where he's kind of been our main facilitator for the last 2 years, where we played through him at the top of the key and some of our 5-out stuff. But he's, you know, obviously if they're playing smaller, we'll throw it to him on the block, and if they double, he'll have to pass out of it, and if they don't, we'll need him to score. And so I thought he did an unbelievable job the other night. And then having the additional responsibility of defending, not only defending their, Giannis, who's incredible, but also being a helper first and foremost. He was so good at helping and then recovering to Giannis, and Giannis sometimes gets a step on us because of that. But at the end of the day, Al does so many things that cover for all of us.
Brad, Danny mentioned this morning that Gordon is in Indianapolis working with a running mechanics specialist. Can you kind of speak to what phase he is in his recovery and what's going on with him?
He's in the running mechanics specialist phase, and I don't know the medical diagnosis of what's next. We're just trying to get him ready for Friday's game, and we're hopeful he can play, and whatever. I don't know. He's not going to join us in Milwaukee, if that answers your question. He's still a long way away, so he's going to spend time. St. Vincent Sports Performance is where he'll be and who he's working with. We worked with them at Butler. He worked with those some of their trainers when he was doing the pre-draft stuff. There's a lot of familiarity there. He knows them well. One of the doctors that he's been consulting with in Indy also works with them. So there's a lot of familiarity there, and seems like a logical next step for him.
Marcus Murray of The Athletic. In Game 1, Marcus Morris led the team in field goal attempts. I'm just curious what it is about him that just stands out to you.
Well, he's a guy that makes the right play, but he's also playing the 4 for us, whereas he played the 3 a lot in Detroit. I think obviously he's a guy that when he does play the 3, he can post up, he can do some of those things, but at the 4, you tend to get more opportunities. Obviously that changes a little bit when they went small the way they did. The thing that I would say about Morris's impact the other day is it's been very consistent to what he's done all year for us, and I thought he was great on the glass. Like, he made some plays and some loose balls, some rebounds. He actually tipped in his own miss, but he had a couple of other huge effort plays. One of the best clips of the day for our team that we really highlighted was he made a driving layup, fell into the stanchion, and stood up and sprinted as fast as he could back to make sure our defense was set. He's in it to win it. Like, he's doing all the right things. Thanks.